Hi, everybody. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripe Color. And this is a little special broadcast. So today is December 11th in Mexico. Tomorrow is December 12th, 12/12. And tomorrow is the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe, Virgin Guadalupe. And I wanted to talk about what it means to me. All right. So Guadalupe is she's basically the Virgin of the Americas. And tomorrow is the feast, and the basilica is right here in Mexico City. It used to be a little bit outside the city, but cities grow and then they become, they encompass. Um, I need my water, whatever. All right. So I just wanted to talk about it, what it means for me. So for me, Guadalupe is it really isn't about Catholicism at all. For me, this is my opinion and my personal understanding and my personal relationship, I guess. That's what I want to say. So the first time I came to Mexico City, which I think was 2017, I came for 10 days and I stayed in another neighborhood that I'm staying in now, kind of the hipster neighborhood. And then I wanted to go to the Basilica. It was one of the things that I wanted to do. And I walked, which interesting, right? It was a really far walk. It was like 3 hours, and I didn't speak any Spanish at all, basically. Hi, Sylvia. I didn't speak any Spanish at all. And Mexico City, I'm used to New York, and New York is very like a checkerboard, so you kind of almost can't get lost. This city goes like this. Anyway, I found my way up there, and I got there, and so there's an old basilica that has been affected by by the way, the earthquake. I'm fine with the earthquake. It woke me up. We had the thing this morning and it was like, oh my God. And I got out of the house. We didn't feel a thing. We didn't feel a thing because it was on the coast and it was only like a six, less than a six. But the alarm went off. So we all, got out of bed and got out to the street. Anyway, I'm fine. Everything's fine. Um, Anyway, the old basilica, because of the earthquakes and the earth sinking here, because it's all built on a lake bed. So like the floor was like this, and the mother's there praying, and the kid who's like 6 or 7 or something like that is like sliding because it was a marble floor. He's like sliding, of course, like that's what kids do. And the mother was really upset. And I was like, rooting for the kid. And it's really interesting that I should say that. And then I went to the other basilica, and it was like I kind of had a revelation. And the revelation was for me personally, I'm not trying to, I'm just giving you my personal thing. So don't uh, get, oh, well, it's this way, it's that way. It's like it's different things to different people, just like the Godhead is different things to different people. And I realized it's not about worshiping Guadalupe. It's about being her. It's about being her. And my understanding of Guadalupe is, it's much more profound. She encompasses really fertility. She encompasses comfort, love, um, unconditional love. Like, I love you even if you took the money. I love you even if you're being impossible. I love you even if you did something mm, not nice, let's say. Like, I love you, I love you, I love you. Like, that's the energy that I tune into and tap into. That's what Guadalupe is about for me. It's like, I love you with all the stuff you come with all the good you come with all the not so good you come. I love you, I love you. And for me, this is really about tuning into the divine feminine element, right? Because Guadalupe is interesting. She, like the rays of the sun are behind her, so she's sort of solar in a way, right? But she's standing on the moon, which also makes her lunar. And she's not a god, but she's of heaven. She's of heaven. So it's almost like she has that angelic presence, that healing presence, that all knowing, all there's an omnipresence to her, right? And for me, it's really like the feminine aspect of the Godhead. It's really the feminine aspect of the Godhead. And it's really interesting. I mean, I could go on about the iconography, and maybe I will. I don't think I will, but maybe I will. She sits in a mandorla. A mandorla is like an almond shape. That's what they call a mandorla. I'm going to draw it for you. So this harkens back to the Vesica Pisces. I'm getting there. Um, I'm glad at least I have my pen. I don't have anything to drink, but I'll manage. Hi, Gina. So let me find an empty piece of paper. Oh, of course, I drew it again another time. Okay. So this is a very ancient symbol in divine geometry. It's called the Vesica Pisces or Pisces. I'm not really quite sure. And then, okay, it's not the best one, but it'll have to do. All right. So it's two interlocking circles, right? So the two interlocking circles are really it's a symbol of the duality, right? So the duality is day and night, man and woman, night and day, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You can go, the list is endless. So when you look at this symbol, right? So you could either see it as these two circles coming together to form this shape, which usually would be bigger, not the greatest, whatever. I don't have a thing. And this is what she sits in. She sits in this shape, basically, right? So does that healing, does that comfort, does that divine love come from the aspect of the duality coming together to unify, right? The masculine, feminine, day, night, et cetera, dark, light, or do both of the elements of the day and the night come from the womb? And I always feel that the answer to the both questions is yes. It's both simultaneously. It's really like, oh. So you'll see a lot of saints sit in that energy, sit in that shape, right? The almond shape. So that's part of it. Part of it is that there is no duality. The masculine is the feminine is the masculine, the day is the night, is the night, the night is the day. The understanding of the unity of all of it. And does it stem from it? And do the two of them make it? Yes, yes, yes. So, for many years I went to a like a group meditation thing. And sometimes we'd call on like the divine feminine, whether you call it Mother Mary, whether you call it Venus, whether you call it Guadalupe, whether you call it Ishtar, whether you call it Lakshmi, Kuan Yin, Isis. It's all the same sort of energy. It's all the same. It's just different names. Maybe some of them have taken on different qualities, but that's the basic energy. And the basic energy is of like the loving, kind, comforting mother of the child that is loved can do anything. So it's about allowing yourself to be the child that is loved, even if you didn't do your homework, even if you messed up something in the house, even if you broke mommy's favorite vase, right? You know, even if colored all over the new walls. Like, I love you anyway. I love you. I love you. And it's not even like, I love you, even though you've been bad. It's like, I love you. I love you no matter what. I love you. No, just because you're you, just because, like, that's the energy of it. That's the energy. And, I remember doing a lot of these meditations, right? And for many years, I think because of my past experience, I wasn't really able to accept love on a level that was unconditional. It always had been strings attached. I'll love you if, or, you're only worthy when, etc. And so I had to keep on going back into that energy. It's almost like water, you know, like the way water wears down a rock. And I had to keep on going for myself. I'm just talking about myself. I had to keep on going back into that energy until the water penetrated the rock, which was me, enough to like almost form a channel for the love to seep in and to really heal, which means bringing into wholeness, comfort, and allow myself to be loved unconditionally, unconditionally. Whether I did my homework, whether I didn't do my homework, if I was, really sweet to somebody, if I was not sweet to somebody, because, that's who I am. That's who we all are. This is who we all are. This is who we all are, right? We all have light, we all have dark, we all have, wonderful things, and we all have not so wonderful things. And the energy, if I can tune into, being the energy of Guadalupe, is that I love you no matter what, right? Or equally being the, hi, Patricia, equally being the energy of the child that is loved, allowing, extending the love and receiving the love, and being that mandorla, being that energy of both. Hi, Sharon. That is what it's about for me, and that's the ideal. That's the ideal that I'm always trying to live up to, be, etc. And I also, and there's no mistake I ended up in Mexico, and there's no mistake that the first day I I went to the basilica, right? And so then this is, I don't mean to sound what's the word? Proud. So I went to the basilica and I made a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scarf, like a pink one. Because to me, Guadalupe is pink because she's related to Venus. She's related. The energy of the loving mother is a very pale pink, right? It's this energy of comfort. It's like a down blanket or whatever. It's like a mile thick, and you fall into it, and it's just in being encompassed by this radiant, soft, loving kindness, right? So it's a pale pink. It's the color of Mother Mary. It's the color of the heart chakra, right? That's why I'm wearing green today, because it's pink and green. And I don't have any. The pink that I have is coral. It's not really pink. Okay, so um, anyway, I'd made a scarf, and I went to like I said, I went to Basilica, and the kid was sliding, which was like adorable to me, and the mother was all upset, which I thought I found really funny. And then I went to the other Basilica, and it was all about like, oh, you have to do this and you have to do that. I was like, I'm done with this. But the plaza on the way to the Basilica is really big, and there was a woman, probably she was in her 60s or 70s easily, and she was with her husband, and she was walking to the Basilica, and she had like a messed up foot, like 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 a messed up foot, like not like it wasn't temporary. It was like, it was almost like this whole thing. It was almost like it was like dragging, right? And she's doing her cane, doing her thing, and in the entire time that I was there, I mean, I do things rather quickly. Um, oh, thank you, Jennifer. That's lovely. I'm glad to hear that. Hi, Sherry. Um, so I have there's one lit back there. It's very small, but it's lit. It's back there. um, it's interesting that the first day I went to Mexico City, I went there, right? And then, so I went to the first basilica with the floor like this, right? And the kid is playing, and I'm loving the kid, and the mother was all like, you know, and then I went to the other one, and I was just turned off. But anyway, this woman was walking, and the whole time I'm there, she's still walking to get to the basilica, and I was like, good on you, good on you. You know, you're kind of old, you're a little, you're infirm, um, and you're showing up, and it's really it's also this energy of devotion. It's this energy of devotion, and the devotion to love, the devotion to comfort, the devotion to kindness, the devotion to acceptance, the devotion to mm, yeah, love no matter what. The answer is love. Like the answer is love. And for me, also, this morning, actually, I wrote some stuff down this morning. Um, okay, allow yourself to be filled and loved beyond measure. Allow yourself to be filled and loved beyond measure. Any and all things are built and based in the vibration of love. Be that love. Be that expansive. Know the truth of eternity and the loving beneficence. Don't ask me to spell it. And wonder of all that is. Extend that energy, extend that feeling into all you witness and do. That's what came through today. That's what came through. Okay. Now, the other thing, I wanted to make this like a dual or triple video. I don't know. I wanted to talk about the IET. So I've been talking, everybody, I talk about it on occasion. So the IET. IET is integrated energy therapy. I think it is. I'm a professional, obviously. I have a little diploma and everything. So the way it works is basically I ask two questions in the order that I'm asking them in. If you could shift, manifest, or change anything in your life, what would that be? What would you like to receive? And it's very interesting because so many people are so busy saying, I don't want this pain in my hip, or I don't want to talk to my sister in law anymore. Maybe the pain in your hip and your sister in law are related. Okay. But that's not what I asked. I asked what you want to receive. Mm. So it's really about, see, this is like what I was talking about being the rock, not allowing myself to be loved, not allowing myself to say, this is what I would like. Mm. Which I think for a lot of us, especially if you're an intuitive, if you're a healer, healers have the most problem receiving because they're so busy giving. Mm. Interesting. Okay. That's my experience. I mean, my personal experience and my experience with other intuitives and healers. So, and there's no right or wrong answer. It's like, I want to receive money. I want to receive a nice house. I want to receive a car. I want to receive love. I want to receive whatever, right? And then, what would you like to release? What would you like to release? And usually people have no problem with that. They give me a list that's like 30 things long, right? So, sometimes let's say I ask for financial abundance, and then what I want to release is things that I know they're in the way of that, or I would like to release my opposition to receiving. from, this life, all lives, any and all things that I'm aware of, things that I'm not aware of, blah, blah, blah. Right. And then, so like you're, like, okay, Mono, I brought, or not, or not. This is Mono. This is one of my children. So Mono would like to receive bananas, right? Can you blame them? So what happens is I connect, I go into a state in a way, and I connect with your higher self. So my angels are working, your angels are working, right? My elemental, your elemental are coming together. And the interesting thing about it is that the universe is really, really efficient. So the thing that you're asking for is something that, the energy is so big that it's not like, oh, I'm the healer and I'm the guru and I'm giving it to you. It's like, no, I'm the witness of it. I'm the usher. I'm the administrator. I'm like the one who takes you to the seat, right? But the energy is so big that I'm receiving it at the same time that I'm administering it, right? So he'll say, I want bananas and I want to let go of my allergy to bananas, right? Okay. He gets shy. And then it's a hands-on, right? So I do the head. So I use myself, or I use either Teddy or Mono. Teddy's in the other room. He was a little tired. And so that I release guilt. This is what happens. Release guilt, imprints innocence. And the third eye, release distrust, imprint trust. Um, then here, it's release shame and imprint spiritual pride. In other words, I know I'm a child of God, right? And I know I'm supported. Release threat, imprint support. The shoulders are really interesting. So it's here. You release I should have and I shouldn't have, and you imprint freedom. I want to make sure I get them all. And then the heart, you release heartache and you imprint unconditional love. Or I do, whatever they do. Release resentment and you imprint forgiveness. Release anger, because anger and resentment are different. Resentment is deeper. Resentment is how could you, and anger is how dare you. And they're both pretty valid, right? And I imprint forgiveness, and then like the love handles, you release stress and powerlessness, and you imprint ease and empowerment, and then the hips is release fear and imprint safety, because that's related to the root chakra about being here in the physical plane. And that's what happens, right? And sometimes I get a vision, sometimes you get a vision, and I can do it remotely. And a lot of times I do it with people when they're sleeping, because it's like, well, I really want to do this at the same time. I want to knit, I want to drive, and I think I'm going to drive a tractor. Maybe I'll use a knife. It's like, no. Your job is just to receive. And sometimes it's like, well, that gets really complicated. So a lot of times I do it overnight. It's like, I know you're sleeping at, like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up, and I'll do it then. So anyway, so that's IET. And that's one of the, and I do it on myself nearly every day, to tell you the truth, nearly every day. So I just wanted to, talk about Guadalupe, talk about, tuning in. It doesn't matter what you call it. It doesn't really matter. Tuning into the energy of the universe, of the loving, divine, feminine aspect of the Godhead, of the unity of the love vibration, which makes the sun radiate, which makes the flowers grow, which makes, that gives us the grace to, sort of step out of your own way sometimes, even when somebody did something that was less than pleasant, and be kind and loving, right? And be kind and loving, no matter what. No matter what. Sometimes uh, you give some money to somebody on your street, your friend goes, well, they're just going to drink with it. It's like, if I gave you a gift, it's none of my business what you do with it. It's not really none of my business what you do with it. My job was to give you the gift. That was my job. It's not my job to say, and you have to do this with it. That's not really giving. That's giving with a string attached. So that is my little take. And I guess I'll throw cards because I'm here. So I'm going to throw some cards and maybe Guadalupe will come through again. Not maybe. She's with me all day. And the lovely thing about being here in Mexico is that wherever I go and wherever I will, there are like little altars to her all over the place. It's like they have these like lucite boxes kind of attached to trees or poles, and there's a little Guadalupe in it, and they decorate it with like flowers and like lights and like fake candles because it's otherwise it'll burn. And it's really lovely. It's really lovely. I like what that, Patricia. I'm going to read it because, yeah, it's a mother's unconditional love, right? But it's beyond like the physical mother, right? It's beyond the physical mother. Hi, Teresa. Okay, I'm going to read what Patricia wrote. The universe only hears in an affirmative way. Saying can't wait means the universe hears only that you can wait. Exactly. I look forward is more affirmative. Yes. Yes. And even saying it in the present. I am abundant, not I will be abundant, right? I am abundant, right? Is I am. The I am is really powerful. And another good thing, I don't do it as often as I'd like to or as often as I think of it, but to stand and look in the mirror and you do an energy an exercise like this. So you're looking at your own eye in the mirror. I'm doing it like this because this is the sacral center. It's like your belly button. It's like right below your belly button, right? And you look in the mirror in your own eyes. I know I'm a little far away. I don't know if you can hear me. And you look and you do like this. I am abundant. I am worthy. I am powerful. I am loved. I am beautiful, like that. That is really, really, really powerful. And what's interesting about that is that as you continue to do that, I find that, maybe I have a little bit of a script in my head, but I usually just wing everything anyway. You'd be surprised what comes out of your mouth. You'd be surprised, because it's like, well, I want to say, I am wealthy, I am beautiful, and I am loved. Let's say that. And as you keep on doing it, all of a sudden these new, it's like your higher self. It opens a space for your higher self to come through and do. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised what might come out of your mouth, right? Because I think, when we walk around in the world and in our heads, we say, whether consciously or unconsciously, I am so, negative word. I'm not even going to give it power. Oh, I am so negative word. Oh, I am so negative word. It's like, I knew you were nuts. Now I'm sure of it. Like the stuff that was sort of put into us, maybe we picked it up from our parents or a teacher or something like that. And we keep on telling that, I'm not good, whatever. And when you discover what that voice is, go to the opposite and start doing the I am in the mirror of the opposite. Because that's how energy changes. If I keep on fighting the other one, it's going to get stronger. If I just introduce the opposite, it's like water. So when I used to, one day I'll get back to dyeing, but I used to do some liquid dye. So it was, water and powder basically, and it would make blue liquid, say, and I would have it in like a container, like a cylinder in a way. And then let's say I wanted to use that container for a different color, I would just put it under the faucet and let the clear water, eventually it would run clear, and then I can make it yellow or pink or whatever. So that's the way to handle it. It's not, I'm going to fight, I'm no good with I am good. It's like, no, 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 no. You just, let the other one just kind of walk away, and, you introduce the opposite. Hi, Tammy. Yeah, the mirror exercise is really, really powerful. Really powerful. All right, so let me just do a little reading, and let's see if Guadalupe has anything to say to us. What's happening is that my intuitive stuff is getting stronger, and there's part of me that's a little bit nervous, apprehensive, honestly. And it seems to be coming anyway. So it's like either I'm going to get into the river the way it's going, or I'm going to swim upstream. And it's easier to go with the river the way it's going. Yeah. So Tammy, red. Red is a root chakra. So surround yourself in red, right? Because red is really like the passion of the desire and the will to be here. All right. So tomorrow, they go to the basilica, and it's a couple of miles from here, I guess. Probably 3, 4, 5 miles, something like that. But the city is so big, it's like, but it's a real pilgrimage, and some of them come on their knees. It's a whole thing. And interestingly, the whole story of Guadalupe is with the roses. Roses are really an ancient symbol of the goddess. Roses symbolize Venus. Roses symbolize, there's a lot going on there. And the interesting thing, I'll show you something else. So, Venus is, I've probably done this in other videos. Venus is the morning star and the evening star, right? So the interesting thing about Venus is, like, make believe this is the Earth. And sometimes you see Venus here, sometimes you see her here, 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 here. What does that make? I can't do it backwards. A pentagram. The rose was originally a 5-petaled flower. That's why roses are the symbol of Venus, of the Queen of Heaven, of Guadalupe, of purity. Fascinating, no? Symbolism, ancient symbolism, is very profound. It didn't just come from nowhere. Exactly, Tammy. I'm going to read that. Okay. So Sherry, yes, me too. And Tammy, God is the I am. We are connected to God. So we are all the I am. We are all one. Indeed. Indeed. Hello, Minty. I don't have any mint tea left, otherwise I'd be drinking it. All right. Let's see if we get anything. Okay. We start with the 8. I really love this card. So this is the 8 of Pentacles. So the 8, well, first of all, 8 is awareness. All 8s are awareness. I don't really talk about 8 as the 8 is awareness. And to me, this is the whistle while you work card. This is the card of the craftsman. This is the card of the mentor. This is the card of the mentee. So, teaching and learning are one and the same. And the thing about this guy, Sometimes they talk about meditation as the bliss between the thoughts, right? So it's the bliss, the emptiness between the thoughts. And that's what he's doing, but he's doing it in physical form. So he's whistling while he works. He's doing something, he's perfecting his craft. He's paying attention to detail. So, like in order to get in touch maybe with this love energy, or just like I was talking about in the very beginning of, being that rock that was impenetrable, right? And then really, getting into the pool of love, whether I wanted to or not. Oh, it's too hot, it's too cold, right? Like Goldilocks. Getting into the pool, it's like, and just allowing it to sink in, allowing that loving, fluid, say, that water, to just, break down that rock, which was me. And so it takes work sometimes, right? And it's in the middle of the pentacles, like he's making another one, and he's made his 777th pentacle, and he's like, I'm really tired of bronze. I think I can make these in copper, or maybe I should make this bigger, or maybe I need help, or maybe I could do it quicker in another way, or maybe I need a different tool, or like that's where it's at. As you're working away, that's when the ideas come. It's like I have to participate. I have to participate in my own healing, in my own comfort. If I participate, that's when it comes. Okay. And then I have the Four of Swords. So the four is always stability, always. The four is the earth plane. And, so this one is sort of like, sometimes this is like, what's the word? Reconnaissance. Like, you're getting over being ill. It's like a little bit like that. But the other thing is just, it's stability of thought. It's stability of thought. And it's getting quiet long enough to hear, getting quiet and still, and tapping into the unity, tapping into the love energy, tapping into the comfort, tapping into the I am, tapping into the Godhead, to get quiet enough to receive, right? So here he's working at it, and here he's just like letting it be. So it's a little bit of both, right? And then I have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is another interesting card. It's a choice. Always, all twos are choices. So the Two of Wands is that this is him. This is what he did in the past, right? And it was fertile, but it was limited. It could only grow in a pot. It could only grow up against the wall, right? And then he wants to expand. So he, sitting on love, sitting on the roses, right? Basing it in love. And this wand, which, wands are creativity, passion, instinct, fertility. This one could become a baton. It could become a pointer, like a magic wand. It could become the foundation for a house. It could become the foundation for a raft. It could become, a lot of different things, because now he's unlimited. Now he's unlimited. So here he is, okay, this worked in the past. And, and sometimes in this card, the choice is like, well, maybe I need to be safe and do what I did before, which is fine. But, the more expansive vision that, takes you overseas, is based in the love energy. And like anything can happen. I'm open to like anything happening. So I don't think I'm actually going to throw any more cards. I think that this is like the little mini message, which is it's in your work, and it's in the physical activity of, devotion, that it comes. And it's about sitting and listening and allowing, right? Stabilizing your mind. That's where she comes through, or it comes through, or whatever. Toward basing your passion, your fertility, your expansion, and love. I mean, I don't have any major cards, and you know what? I think it's fine. I think it's fine. So that is my little take on Guadalupe. I finally did my IET video, and I'm really grateful that it wasn't a major earthquake this morning. But it did get all of us out of bed. Everybody came out in their what do you call it? In their pajamas. I was wearing my I had a fine pajamas, and it was like, oh God. But anyway, I did, and it wasn't really. We didn't really feel anything here. So, but it was quite unnerving, to wake up to that. I have to say, also because I don't really have the experience of earthquakes. I grew up in New York, and so it's not like part of my consciousness. So it's like a little bit of that, and it kind of threw me. I had to take a nap, and anyway, that is my little to do. So tomorrow is our feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And my message is love yourself and love others, fully, as fully as you can. If you can't do it it's okay. It's okay. Right? It's okay. So that is my little take. I don't know what you're talking about, Tammy. My New York spunk. I don't know. Soy mexicano. Soy mexicano. I don't know if it's ever going to leave. I guess it's not supposed to. So blessings to all of you. May the blessings of Guadalupe and of the divine, loving, comforting Mother be upon you, be upon me, be upon all of us, be upon all of us. And adios. And maybe next time Teddy will be in the video. So now you know what the IT is. Oh, and readings until the 15th. Today is the 11th. Readings until the 15th are, how much are they? It's 30 minutes for $50. Only until the 15th, then I'm going back up. And scarves. I'm going to show you a scarf in person. Scarves are usually, let me show you a pretty one. I mean, they're all pretty. This one's really nice. Is this the one? Oh, this is Eden. This is a fabulous scarf. Eden, like the Garden of Eden. So scarves are usually $300. They're handmade by moi. And now they're $222. I hope the lighting is good. But, I mean, they're really like little mini paintings. Look how pretty. Look how beautiful. So anyway, yeah, I have like 7 scarves left. And I don't know when I'm going to be able to make more because I don't have a studio. I have to set one up. That means I have to buy a lot of stuff and, get myself organized. I might do it on the roof. I might do it here. I might get a studio. I just don't know. And I don't have any blanks and I don't have any dye. So, I'd like to really start fresh, honestly. So I have 7 left. They're lovely. And so please go and visit and then make a beautiful Christmas present or a present from you to you, And that is that. Maybe I'll show you one more. Is this it? Yeah, Santa Fe. I call this Santa Fe. This one is really, really subtle. It's really, really subtle. The colors are really, really soft. All right. I love doing stripes. And I kind of let the stripes bleed into one another, So this one's Santa Fe. Santa Fe. Santa Fe. All right. So that is my little message. I showed scarves. I did IET and, readings. And I'll see you soon. I will get back to Tarot Tuesdays. I will. The next one is Temperance. And I have to really meditate on the card and then I'll do a video. All right. Blessings. Thanks for tuning in. And 45 minutes. For me, that's a shorty. All right. See you soon. I think I want to do a different kind of art, honestly. But I don't know what that is yet. It might be scarves, it might be something else. I don't really know. I kind of want to sculpt, actually. All right. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for all your support and your really nice, kind, loving comments, and blessings.